being said, I have a good friend of mine, Brother Johnny Sallie.
How you doing today, brother?
How you doing, brother? How you been, man?
I'm wonderful. I appreciate you for allowing me to come on your podcast.
Man, you know better than that, man. You know what I mean? So, man, Johnny, I'm not sure where we met. Well, it just kind of came into alignment, but I saw that you were doing a community cleanup. And I said, let me get out there and help these brothers. In Anchor's home, you don't have too many people that, well, I'm not going to say it, I don't want to put nobody on blast. But in certain communities, a lot of people don't just do what they say they're going to do. Right. And you did it, you're doing it, you know what I mean? So, first of all, where'd you grow up? Where are you from?
I actually grew up between Missouri City and Trinity Gardens. Okay. A large majority of my family is from the City Gas area, Trinity Gardens, Fifth Ward, really they Hardy Ward.
Hardy. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but I went to school out in Missouri City, and I understand I got to see a different perspective from two different aspects of Houston. Because at the time that I was growing up in Missouri City, it was more suburban and perceived to be predominantly white. You know, we're always considered the minority, even when we are the majority.
Check. Okay, gotcha. So, what high school did you attend?
Elkins.
Elkins. Is it still around?
Yeah, it's still around.
Yeah, I don't hear about it too much anymore.
No. I think, I want to say maybe last year, a couple years back, they had, well, before the COVID era, they had a nice few individuals from the football team.
Okay, gotcha.
Go to
the NFL, gotcha. Okay, cool, man. So, after high school, take me on a journey about Brother Johnny, how he's coming to where he is now.
Okay. After high school, I went straight into the military.
Okay, what branch?
I went to the Army. I actually signed my contract surprisingly on September 11th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like
what year was it?
2001.
Wow, 2009.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. So I went into the military in 2001. I was stationed at Fort Hood, Texas. I did one tour in Iraq. Coming home and realizing, that wasn't for me.
Wow.
I understood certain things spiritually then that I didn't even realize, in the fact that we were on holy lands and a lot of the things taking place we shouldn't have been involving ourselves in.
Wow.
Many of us was just pulled into it due to false allegiances we thought we should hold towards nations and things of that sort.
Almost similar to in Vietnam when the brothers were getting these letters saying black man go home, it's not your war. You know what I mean?
Right.
Wow, interesting, man. So okay. So after your first tour, what happened then?
After my first tour, I came home and it was similar to what I would have perceived as coming home from prison. I couldn't get a job anywhere, and I was a cook.
Wow.
I was a cook and couldn't get a job anywhere.
Wow.
I went to Cheesecake Factory and they asked for references, and the only thing I could give them, everybody that was in my unit was either in Iraq, Afghanistan, or Korea. So there wasn't necessarily a way I could give them resources. So I did little jobs here, UPS, call centers, things of that nature. Started going through some struggles with PTSD, and I started self-medicating. And when you're self-medicating and operate in a certain way, especially when you're naturally a people person, for lack of
speak your mind, man.
The easier explanation, I practically began to run an illegal business.
Okay.
I didn't even realize I was running a business, but I was getting things for myself to a certain degree that other people was like, hey bro, can I just get it from you? And
you're an entrepreneur, basically.
Yes. So from there, a lot of that was used to get my attention. I ended up getting incarcerated for a crime that I didn't commit. And I did 5 years on a 16-year sentence.
That's great. Wow.
So I remember right before I got incarcerated, my life has always been like a movie. So I realized certain things that I would speak have a tendency to come to pass. We have to understand there's power.
There's power in the tongue. Yes, sir.
Very much so. So I remember at one point telling the Creator that if if I had the time to study, I would study religions. Well, when I got set down for that little 5-year sentence,
You gotta be careful what you ask for, right?
yeah, for real, that opened that door. But luckily, I was able to acknowledge that was actually an answer to the prayer. So it allowed me to study the Bible, to study the Quran, to actually have a space and time to gather an understanding for myself of religion. Because church never really did sit right with me in certain things in the ways they was explained. When I would ask questions in church, I would politely be rebuked. And then I started kind of understanding through my own studies that they didn't even know what or understand what they were studying.
So let me ask you this question. So between Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Judaism, what similarities did you see?
The major similarities that I saw was energy, a call to communion. On the simplest scale, let's just look at Christianity and Islam. I ask individuals all the time, especially those that have children, if you have 2 children, why would you raise them to worship a different God? So why would Abraham do the same? And it's funny to me that usually throughout Scripture there's quote unquote different gods that they worship, but they all deal with the same thing. So now in my growth, I do understand the aspects of the different deities, and even in our book or the book of the Bible. And I say our book because I am a Christian, I am a Muslim, I am a Buddhist, I am all things to those that need to gather understanding. I just ask questions and I help people try to see that whatever path you choose for you is the path that's right for you, but don't be afraid to take that next step.
Sure.
So even in the Bible, you'll notice it says, have no other gods before me. It don't say there's no other gods.
That's true. It does say that.
Right.
It does say that. Wow. Okay. It's so many things, layers to the last 3 minutes of the conversation I want to dive into, but we're gonna say that for another segment.
Okay.
So after your stint of enlightenment, sit down and get enlightened.
Wilderness.
Where is Johnny now? What is he doing?
Well, when I came home, there were things in my head that I just decided to put in play. I established a company called Loyalty Life Legacy, which is 100% veteran-owned social impact organization focused on community wellness and universal health, not only in the community but for self.
Okay.
So I focus on providing individuals with resources and tools for self-help, helping their community, and I do have a vast network of individuals that can help in just about any area, from developing a business to developing nonprofits to just even searching for jobs.
Wow. You know, I hear this a lot. You know, I'm grateful that I didn't go through it, but I'm still kind of vicariously dealing with it. People dealing with PTSD. Well, veterans have a tough time adjusting back into civilian world, quote unquote. Why is it that it's such a challenge? What can we do as a community to help our veterans that went abroad and then came back and now they want to, be, I guess, a pillar back in the community? What can we do to help them out?
I think a lot is changing now in regards to mental health.
Okay.
Especially not only being men, but in the Black community, we are taught that that it's a weakness to cry, it's a weakness to show emotion, it's a weakness to deal with mental struggle. We told her just suck it up, buttercup.
Right.
The best way I can put it, list all of the aspects about yourself that you love.
Okay.
Then go back and list what would be the opposites of those, and learn to embrace those parts of yourself. Then slowly start to work your way back through certain areas of your life. A lot of the areas that we look at and we try to justify why we did things, or we make excuses for why we operated certain ways in our past, and just pretty much open up that box and dive into those situations to understand why you may have operated like that. It's not necessarily a right or wrong, or negative or positive. It's just understanding and accepting, because then we can understand that a lot of the things that we've gone through in life and the ways we operate came from ways that we were either taught by other people,
Okay.
and sometimes it's karmic resonance from past lives and things of that nature that we are dealing with.
Mm.
Because sometimes I know some people that could probably say, "Yo, it's just like I can't get a break in life," and they are some of the nicest people. That's usually because they've done some things in past lives, and now they're balancing their karma.
Wow, wow, that's strong, man. So, speaking of balance and energies, man, I see here that you have some pyramid type items here or whatnot, and I see a stone in the back here. It's yellow and white. What exactly is this, and how's that tied into like shadow work and things like that? If it's a connection.
Yes, it is. Those pieces are Orgone Technology. They were created by an individual named William Wright. He believed that our body holds traumas in joints, aches, pains, and he developed a system using organic and inorganic materials that have the ability to absorb energy and transmute it. He had actually created boxes that people would sit inside, and these boxes would, like I said, project the energy back and forth. What happens is it's a scrubbing mechanism that as the resin cures, it's created through resin, crystals, minerals, and as the resin cures, it creates heat, and a scrubbing effect takes place to where the energy bounces back and forth, and then that energy is transmitted back out into the universe.
Wow.
Surprisingly, I found out during my research that the military also uses this same technology to coat their planes to protect them from radar and EMF, 5G. So those actually help to change the dynamics of your environment, especially we around low negative ion energy all the time because of things that are just in place as far as the technology that we so love to use.
Interesting, man. So this technology cycle has been around for thousands of years, you know. So I'm thinking, what's channeling into me is about the pyramids.
I was thinking the same exact thing. The complex of Giza was actually a large battery, for lack of a better explanation. If you ever look at aerial views of temples or large areas where a lot of tourists travel, especially older pyramids, Mayan cultures, it looks like a computer motherboard. And what is one of the key components in computers?
The chip.
Right, which is made of quartz.
Quartz, right, okay, right.
And which again ties back to the crystals that are used in these. But at one point, well, let's just break it down. We ourselves are crystalline beings.
Okay, what do you mean?
Our genetic makeup is made of carbon.
Okay, check.
Now, on the crystal scale, that would be more in tune with silica. So we are literal computers. We are actually smarter than computers, but we just don't tap into a lot of that energy because we're so dependent on other things, or we've been taught to be dependent on other things to minimize our own abilities.
Wow. You know, no, I'll say it's off camera. I don't say it's off camera, man. But there's so much that I want to tie into, man. But first of all, you know, you make with this necklace here, man. And I appreciate it. You know what I mean? So, can you explain to me what certain stones that are in here, or just in general, what this consists of? Because, you know, I want folks to know, man, we ain't playing around.
Gotcha. Well, that is something I designed. After I made the first one for myself, I was like, I want a different name than a necklace. So I looked up the term carcanet, which was pretty much a necklace, but it was like a talisman. So I changed the name to a Car-Ka-net. K-H-A-R-K-A-N-E-T.
You sent that to me, too. I think I saw that.
Right. Kar is the Arabic term for stupid.
Oh, wow.
Ka is another term for energy. Ka, Chi, and we know what a net is. So it actually protects you and absorbs stupid energy from other individuals around you. So it was funny, even as I was looking it up, I was like, wow. Man. So I want to say, as I was creating that one, the red stones are jasper. A lot of the major energy in that one is the energy that I put into it myself. A lot of it is jasper, which is a very protective stone. the major piece that you're holding is Metatron's cube. Metatron's cube embodies the circle of life, the flower of life. You can look at the 13 hierarchies of the angels in there. The tree of life, the Kabbalistic tree of life is in there, and it's a lot of power in that within itself.
I
If you
see.
study it.
I see, man. Wow. Okay. You know, like I said, I appreciate it, man. Something was telling me to get something like this, and so you was the first person I thought of. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I appreciate it, man. Then too, you gave me an offer before the cameras got on to take gift me with a present, man. So the one sitting toward the back there with the yellow and the white, I think that's the one that's calling my name.
The angel wings with the shungite. Shungite absorbs negative energy. It blocks EMF. It blocks radiation. Shungite, actually, in its powder form, can also purify water.
Wow. Duly noted. Okay. All right. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
No problem. No problem.
It actually it's wings. Wow. Okay. Gotcha, man. So before we get out of here, man, tell everybody where they can find you on. If it's Instagram, just your Facebook, all your hooks, everybody know where you are.
Gotcha. You can follow me on Instagram at Johnny_Sallie_Jr. That's JOHNNY_SALLIE_Jr. You can find me the same way on Facebook. I have 2 pages, a page and a profile, just from how they set up different things. Again, you can also go to Loyalty Life Legacy on Instagram. That's LOYALTYLYFE Legacy, Legacy. I also have another page that is specifically for the Orgone Technology called Orgone_magnetic_healing. So outside of that, yeah.
Gotcha, man. So are there any more community service? I don't say community service, community effort events that you got coming up as far as like community cleanups or anything coming up? I know because of COVID, everything's kind of changed now, but
not currently in the works. I've just loved that a lot of the work that we put forth, other people are starting to pick up the mantle. So when I hear about people doing it, then I spread that out. I'm gonna tie this back to the beginning.
Okay.
I met you at a meeting at the NAACP building with Pop and Lloyd when we were first establishing Creative Group Economics, which is now Unity as well. So that was the very first time I met you at that meeting. Raspy Ross came down here right after, I want to say,
it must have been Harvey.
Yeah, I think it was right after Harvey.
Yeah, it must have been
it was
Harvey.
right after Harvey.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was establishing different community efforts, and that's what brought about us starting to do the community cleanups. One, to show the community that they have to appreciate their own before they can expect others to help it. And a lot of people don't realize the way we operate is what starts and causes the gentrification.
That's right.
They look at it like, if you ain't gonna clean it up and you want us to come do it, then we might as well just take it back from you.
Man, that's you know what? It's funny you said that because before the Juneteenth parade back in like 2018, I was home. We were doing some community cleanups and whatnot, because when you go down Western Go, that's the main artery that takes us home.
Right.
But anyway, so I took on the task of repainting the Esplanade, the marker in the middle of the street and whatnot. Yeah. And so actually, I had a person that was following me with the camera, and I said, well, we have to clean up after ourselves. This is our community. We can't expect for somebody outside to come in and clean our, you know what I'm saying? So and the answer I gave was like, and when you get to a certain age and you're in your home, your mom is not going to keep cleaning up after you. She wants to clean up after yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so you just validated what I just said. And it makes sense. It's like one and one is a whole all day long. You know what I mean? So,
so I know in the past couple of months, one of my tribe sisters, Aisha, has been doing things with an organization called AMPU.
I've seen that. Yeah,
one of the tribe members, Ohima, is actually establishing a trip through her Johara Foundation.
Shout out to Ohima. I've been out with her a few times.
Okay. So yeah, when more things come out, then I just share information. A lot of the work I do isn't centralized in any one place in Houston. So I'm connected with individuals like Kim Hatter with the city of Houston.
Shout out to Kim.
When she calls out certain events, then I let the rest of the network know, and we do the best that we can to come together and not only make the world a better place, but provide a service. Because self-service and giving back is one of the easiest ways to deal with karma, and it just makes you feel good about
It
yourself.
does, it does, man. Yeah, I agree. When I ran, my campaign slogan was building the community through unity. You know, so that's what I'm doing, man. So what I know, some sense we'll get out of here. We can talk another 2-3 hours, man. But what I noticed out in the community when I got back involved was there was a lack of communication between the baby boomers, Generation X, and millennials. So the reason why I created Politically Street was because, like I said, is to give out information and to be that bridge of communication between the baby boomers, Generation X, and the millennials, and on and so forth and so on. So I appreciate you coming out, man, and planting the seed in this garden called Politically Street and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to the fruits that it bears, this episode bears, and we're gonna keep moving, brother. You know what I mean?
That's
So,
right, brother.
like I said, with that being said, it's another edition of Politically Street. Y'all make sure and go follow me on YouTube, Politically Street. Hey, man, I need some subscribers. All right, peace out, y'all.
Peace.
All right.